Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here, and today we have your weekly live reaction replay video. I know I just had two on the weekends because that's how last week's schedule went, but this week we're more to a normal week with the update coming out today. So, this is a live reaction replay, meaning I'm sitting down and watching it with you guys for the very first time. So I have no idea what exactly happens in the replay, so it's like we're watching together and we can share our reactions with one another live. So our driver today is one Loot Pirate. He's a member of T4, which is one of the channel's clans. If you have a desire to be in a clan, we have clans for guys that just want to chill and play the game. We have clans that are more competitive, so if you're interested in that, a link to that is in the description down below. But more importantly, he is in the Tier 7 American Techline battleship, the Colorado, the struggle bus, if you will. And this is, you know, I just got through the Colorado into the North Carolina in my free-to-play grind. If you guys don't know, I'm doing a free-to-play grind up the American battleship Techline, and I just got done with the Colorado and into the North Carolina. And man, while Colorado today is a whole hell of a lot better than it was back when I first started playing in 2017, it's still not that great. I mean, you get the 8 16-inch guns, which gives you a fair amount of overmatch. Actually, a lot of overmatch when you are top tier, which Loot Pirate is in a Tier 7 game, so he does have that going for him in this match. The ship's still slow, though, and it's just a terrible experience when you do get up-tiered. Oh, look at Belfast, an actual, like, Belfast, not a Belfast 43, the original OP Belfast. Please delete that in one salvo. That would be a glorious way to open up this video. So he's got a Belfast, a Nagato Mahan, and another Mahan. Two Mahan are on this flank. And, ooh, does Citadel the Belfast, though. Nice. That's a good way to start. That's my Discord and not yours. So he Citadels the Belfast to start off the match. So it looks like you got 4 enemy ships over there as of right now. And, again, this is a Tier 7 game. There are no CVs, but there is a submarine. So he does have to watch out for that. That's the thing about the Colorado. She is, again, quite slow. So submarines are a bit of a problem. Even though they do have the American mid-tier battleships, the Dreadnought-style battleships have an improved turning circle, along with an improved speed bleed when they are turning. So they can turn better than most other, battleships at their tier to kind of help offset their slowness. So on one hand, it's like, yeah, you got that going for you where it's a little bit better to deal with the homing torpedoes, but you are still slow, so your ability to get away from a submarine is unfortunately quite low. So half of the ships on his flank right now are destroyers, and they have a Yudachi and Algerie and Nagato on their side, along with a Dukafel, which looks like he's going for the sea cap, maybe? He's probably dumping his torpedoes at the sea cap. Alright, Luke pops his spider to give him that improved range. Senop, that's a mean ship. So he is still just outside of that Nagato's range. And I can feel his desire to shoot that Nagato, because he's broadside and he's kind of selling in a straight line. So he's got the range now, he's laying up a shot, letting his shells fly, and he's swapped over to HE, which is interesting. I'm assuming that's in anticipation of having to deal with the destroyers, because again, half the ships on his flank right now are destroyers. That looks like a pretty good dispersion. And it was. You got one solid pin, but then 4 overpins to give you a grand total of 9k off of one salvo, which is a pretty solid salvo. Okay, you got a Mahan there too. Yeah, so he's got HE loaded for the Mahans. Yep, look, 11 kilometers away, Mahan number 1. Lets it fly. And dispersion says broke his rudder and his engine. That's a pretty good loss for the Mahan, but he's probably got last stand on. Belfast, 17 kilometers away, nose into that island playing like he's an American cruiser, but he's not. There's the torpedoes from the Mahan. Looks like they're going to miss. Oh, they actually ran out, so the Algerie should be okay. Algerie just beaching himself to avoid those torpedoes, and he does. Right. Ooh, another Mahan, 10 kilometers away. Unfortunately, he does have AP loaded. Might not have. Yeah, it was unfortunately was not locked on for that salvo, so he's got a bit of a wily dispersion. Still gets a couple overpins on the Mahan. But when you're talking about a destroyer, or really any ship, damage is damage. And the more damage you cause them, the better. So even if it's only 2k, hey, look, Think about all the times you've had, you know, a destroyer or a ship get away with like 1,000 HP or less. So there you go. Broadside, Kajagoon, or K-Money, whatever you want to call it. It does go undetected. Popeye is laughing like a crack addict right now. That's his commander. Ooh, Queen Elizabeth. Oh, come on. That is beautiful. Okay, he aimed a little bit high there, but let's see what happens. I mean, it's the mid-tier Dutch cruisers are kind of squishy. Not kind of, they are really squishy. And, overpins. It's a little bit lower there. You saw the line was like halfway up his hold, and of course you added the dispersion to that. Shells are probably going to land higher-ish than where you're aiming at. So typically you want to put that line right at the waterline. Again, that's a little bit too high. You know, maybe if he's anticipating his maneuvering, which looks like he is here, it'll work. It's down to like 8k HP, so he really has to nick him in order to deal with him. Looks like he's keeping an eye out for that submarine. There we go. There we go. That stars lined up that time. Grabs a citadel on the Kitchigoon, and now that is one less ship alive on the enemy team. Sit rep caps are pretty balanced. Kills so far are in his team's favor. 4 enemy ships down to only 1 friendly submarine down. So things are going well so far, at least. So you got a Queen Elizabeth that has arrived over here. The 2 Mahans are still up, and you still have that Legato and Belfast somewhere. Alright, gets his front turrets out on the Queen Elizabeth. Something shot some HE at him. I didn't quite catch what it was. He has loaded HE. Again, probably in anticipation of dealing with the destroyers. Enemy Nevny takes out the friendly New Mexico. Okay, so he's going dark now. Yep, there's the torps. Should be able to just get, there you go, get by with that. There's the Belfast. Unfortunately, he does have HE loaded, and he was locked into the Queen Elizabeth when he let those shells fly. And nope, he missed, unfortunately. So again, it could also be a replay bug. He could very well be locked into the Belfast, but you know, it doesn't look like he is. I'm hoping that he was there. I don't know, but the dispersion is pretty bad if he was. Alright, enemy teams very quickly catching up on kills. They've sunk 2 friendly cruisers. They got a friendly battleship down. So this is not so great. Okay, swap back over to AP. This should be a much better salvo on the Belfast. Some overpins. That is the curse of having large caliber guns. Because having big guns is cool and all. Yeah, you can overmatch a lot of armor. But at the end of the day, you are going to just overmatch a lot of things. You need to aim a little bit lower there. And that would have been a dead Belfast. Okay, secondaries opening up on the Belfast. Belfast switching targets to the Colorado behind him. He is in a division with a buddy. Alright, this should be a dead Belfast. There you go. The pure overpins. But yeah, aim a little bit lower at that waterline and your AP shells are fine, the Citadel. But there's very well a very high chance that he would just, you know, overmatch Citadel as well, especially on these light cruisers. Clips a Mahan for 1200 damage. Dukefeld is in a very good spot to just finish off that Mahan. Shortness 43 takes out the friendly Omaha. So things have very quickly flipped to the enemy team's favor in terms of kills. They are now ahead on kills and on points at the moment. They're also taking the C cap from the friendly team. Alright, popping his spotter again, probably in the hopes of catching one of those Mahan. Well, we know one Mahan's in the C cap. We know one Mahan's in front of him. So he might just be trying to, yeah, there we go, grab a little look-see at one of the Mahans. He has HE loaded, very good. Hits the Mahan for a mere 570 damage. Okay, friendly Colorado, his buddy Ark, also a T4 member, takes out the Mahan. So his ammo selection is actually quite good. You know, he's not just shooting AP. You know, again, he's on a flank where you got 2 DDs that are, you know, he knows are right in front of him, so he's swapping to HE as needed, so that's a good thing. Just a little bit lower on the aim there, and you'll be pretty solid in the Colorado, my guy. Alright, so it looks like the C cap is going to flip. The Scharnhorst is also going over and grabbing the B cap. Enemy side still has a Sinop up, which that's like one of the most it is the most powerful tier 7 battleship, Techline battleship at least, because it's Soviet, 16-inch guns, Soviet armor, has a massive citadel if you can get at its sides, but it's just a scary ship, and it's still pretty quick. for being a tier 7 battleship. So, we know we have a Mahan in front of us. Lute's going to the sea cap, the sea cap with his Dukefelt, however you say that ship's name. He does have HE loaded, so if the Mahan does pop up, he can give the Mahan a very bad... Hey, there's the Mahan. Alright, so the Dukefelt is opening up on the Mahan. This Mahan is, however, pretty full in terms of HP. Mahan's a decent gunboat. But again, ooh, two shells connect there. Can we get a couple more? One more shell hits there, breaks something on the Mahan's ship. Alright, cool. The Dukefelt's pretty healthy there, so they are winning this gun battle. Good thing they are focusing down these DDs. You definitely want to murder the DDs as fast as possible because DDs are stealthy, they can go undetected. And in late game, they're super important for having vision control and the ability to, well, cap caps. Because it's far easier for a destroyer to run to the other side of the map and grab that cap rather than, you know, a cruiser or a battleship doing that. The Gnevny pops out, opens up on Lute as well. Gets his rear turrets out on the Gnevny. Kind of far away, you know, but does it happen? Unfortunately, no. And the American battleship shells, they are very much slow. Actually, the Colorados aren't that bad as compared to, like, the North Carolinas. But again, we're talking about trying to deal with a destroyer from, 10 kilometers away, which is not overly far by tier 7, but, further than you might think. Playing at tier 10 all the time. Unfortunately, he's still not landing any shell hits. He's at least keeping him preoccupied at the moment. The Gnevny, unfortunately for Lute as well, is not that great of a shot. Landing a couple of shots here and there, but isn't exactly, well, I was going to say getting lucky with fires, but then there we go. Alright, Lute pops his heel to offset that fire. Ooh, there's a broadside deli. Alright, just smoked up. Yep, got his gunners putting AP in the tubes for his next salvo. That way he can just simply remove the deli from existence when he does pop up. Sharnars 43 takes out the friendly Nagato. So now it's 3 friendly ships against... Oh, there we go. Against 5 enemy ships. Luke's buddy does take out the Sharnars 43 with his fires set by his Colorado, which I'd like to imagine was set by his secondary guns just for the funsies. Okay, but the enemy Synop does murder Ark, and now we're down to 2 ships versus 4 ships. Not great overwhelming odds for Lute and his team at this moment. Okay, the Gnevny is still up, unfortunately. 9 kilometers away this time. Firing the AP to clear the tubes. Ooh, Mahan from 1.9 kilometers away. Lute pops his damage con. I would have held that, especially with the Mahan being right there. Ooh, God, he's at 3,000 HP, though. And the desire to probably just, give your brother a little bit of a bump to the right. That way you can get your full broadside on him is very high. Oh, is he going to dodge this? Oh, look at this. He's doing it. He's doing it. Oh, beautiful, beautiful dodge there, Lute. That was great. That Mahan is absolutely mauling right now. HE to the face, and now we're down to 1 enemy. DD left alive. That was beautiful. Just right in between the 2 salvos. Perfect Colorado-sized hole. He found it and put his Colorado in it. Alright, so there's the shells from the Synop showing up. And again, the Synop has 16-inch guns, which cannot overmatch the Colorado's armor. Deli is somewhere as well, which that's not great. Because the Deli is probably getting in position to join in on the farming of Lute at this moment. Pops his heel to offset the 2 fires he's got going on with the Gnevny. Don't know what the Dukefelt's doing. He really needs to get up here and help Lute deal with this Gnevny. Alright, so Gnevny's down to 400 HP. Again, if this Dukefelt was helping him out here, this would be very much a dead Gnevny already. Deli is going for the cap. So, there we go. The Gnevny was spotting Lute since he smoked himself up. Lute is now dark, so he can get a bit of a breather. Got another fire set on him, unfortunately. His damage gun's about to come off a cooldown here. And there we go, insta-pop on that. Blind firing the Gnevny. As the front 3 turrets go, beautiful, beautiful blind fire. Grabs the Gnevny there. So now it's 2 versus 2. Enemy team has 3 caps, though. So even if they do sink this Deli, all the Synop has to do is run. And they'll win. In fact, he could be heading to the A1 square right now, and they'll still win. Because of the points lead. Because a Dukefelt, he's got to sit in the cap and cap. That's going to take some time. And of course, Lutz in the Colorado, which is extremely slow. Unfortunately, misses that salvo there on the deli. So, yeah, the Synop's probably going to take the decap and then skedaddle if I had to guess. So let's see what happens here. Dukefelt now opting to open up on the light cruiser. He's always trying to bait him into selling into his torpedoes. Let's see. Through the nose, through the nose, through the nose. Okay, so he is turning. Gives him a bit of a lead there. And some predictive shots. Ooh! Very nice. Was that it? No citadels? Was that just pure pins? No, that had to be a couple of citadels, right? All right, wonderful shot there, Loot. Completely deletes the deli from existence. All right, but they're now over 100 points in the red in terms of the points game. All right, so Dukefeld's going to be able to get the C cap. But what's the Synop doing? He should have been to the D cap already. I think he's running. So they got to either find him or I don't know if they can they only have 3 minutes left. I don't think that's enough time to get to another cap it, and then let the points tick over. So they got to kill the Synop. So yeah, unless the Synop's just beelining for him, which I'm not really sure how smart that would be. Because again, with 3 minutes left on the clock, this is close. They're 130, 20-ish points in the lead. And apparently the Synop's at full health, according to the enemy team. But he could also, again, be running. It wouldn't really matter how much health he does have left. And the other thing, too, is even if they do find him, they have to kill him in 3 minutes. Which, he's in D. Where was he going? He should have been in D. We might have been running. Oh, there he is. Oh, yeah, he's almost at full health. Oh, come on, delete him. This is like the one weak angle of the Synop. So remember when I said about having destroyers alive and having vision at the end of a match, how important that is? Lute's able to get this shot off without being detected because his Dukefelt can spot the Synop for him. Now, the other thing is that Lute's out of heals, and that's a Synop with guns that literally do not care about the Colorado's armor. So he's got a kill an almost full health Synop with no heals in a Colorado. One of the most infamous punching bags in World of Warships. Alright, so he gets some shots off. He can't overmatch the Synop's armor, but the Synop does have that icebreaker bow. So, oh god, RNG screws him there. So if the Synop does go bow in, he can't really do too much. He can pin the upper bow portion, but the Synop does again have that icebreaker wraparound bow that will bounce 16-inch shells. Okay, but he is showing him a mighty high amount of cheek there. See, oh, that just took away half of Lute's remaining HP. Swap to HE in anticipation of the Synop going broadside. So Synop going bow in. Alright, the Dukefelt does get some torps out. Looks like they miss except for one, which did a menial amount of damage to the Synop, because the Synop also has, surprisingly, pretty good torpedo protection. Alright, so he's aiming at his turret, which means he's trying to get his shells to land on his superstructure, because again, can't really overmatch the bow too consistently, and he just needs to, get the damage down. The Synop only has to live for a minute and 25 seconds. That's the highest thing he has to do, the most challenging he has to do. And he's showing an uncomfortable amount of broadside. Like, yeah, the armor can maybe do that, but he's trying to just get his turrets on target and kill Loot here. That's what he's trying to do, because Loot's at so low. Ooh, good hits, down to 14k. Oh my god. What is this guy doing? What is he doing? Soviet bias isn't that strong. Okay, but RNG says no. Oh my god. 50 seconds left on the clock. I think this is going to be the only salvo. He's going to be able to get one more salvo before the time runs out. Okay, this should be it. There we go. Why is he going broadside? Oh my god. Soviet bias isn't that strong, ladies and gentlemen. The Soviet battleships are very, very squishy from the sides. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is certainly how you throw a match. Not trying to downplay what Loot did, because he did a lot of smart things that match. Focused on the destroyers, got them out, swapped over to HE to deal with them. 143,000 damage doesn't really seem like a whole lot, especially if you're used to playing high tier, but at tier 7, that's a pretty darn good amount of damage. And again, a lot of that was to destroyers and light cruisers, right? The Mahan, Gnevny, the other Mahan, Again, the Belfast and the Delhi that he had to deal with. But yeah, again, broadside is bad. You don't want to be giving it, especially when you're in a Sinop with a notoriously squishy citadel. Look at all the medals, all the achievements he got. He got High Caliber, Confederate, Dev Strike, Strike Team because of the division, Kraken, Dreadnought, Brothers at Arms, Division Kraken, Fireproof, and then 2 General Offenses. 6 kills, ladies and gentlemen. That is, yeah, 2,600 base XP in a Tier 7 game. That is, again, quite good. So, fellas, if you have a replay that you would like to see featured here on the channel, you have a good match like this where something goofy happens with that sun up there at the end, or just, again, a match you think would be an entertaining video, you can send it down to the link, which is in the description down below, or you can also post it in the community replay channel in the community Discord, which a link to the community Discord is also in the description down below. So, hope you guys have a wonderful Wednesday, a wonderful rest of your week. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.